Hello fellow Star Wars fans, I hope all has been well since our last encounter. Today's installment on Comics and Review is the 2020 Marvel Star Wars issue number 2, titled Destiny's Path Part 2. If you haven't seen Part 1, I encourage you to do so. A link to that video will be in the description. And lastly, before we get into the review, I just wanted to announce there will be a redeemable code somewhere hidden in the video, so be on the lookout for that. The events of issue 2 begin with the Millennium Falcon regrouped with the Rebel fleet after the battle at the Mid-Rim, and remember in issue 1 really focused on Luke's emotional struggle and conflict about the news that Vader is his father. The secondary plot, I suppose, would be Leia's internal dispute of either going after Han or staying with the Rebel fleet, which she ultimately chose the Rebel fleet. After the rendezvous with the Rebel fleet, Leia suggests that Lando and Chewbacca begin their search for Han on Tatooine. A few key places they begin to search are Jabba's palace and Mos Eisley spaceport. However, their most important task is to find Boba Fett, the bounty hunter that had Han encased in carbonite on Cloud City. Since the bounty was made by Jabba, the best thing they can do is to beat Boba to Tatooine before he can deliver Han to Jabba. While Lando and Chewbacca head off to Tatooine, Luke begins his physical healing from his encounter with his father. At this point in the comic series, Luke begins to accept the fact that Vader is his father, and that, to me at least, begins an internal strife on his commitment to either becoming a Jedi like his father, or by choosing his own path. Lando and Chewbacca deaccelerate out of hyperspace and arrive at Tatooine to begin their search for Boba Fett. Much to their surprise, Imperial TIE fighters are patrolling the system and spot the much-desired Millennium Falcon. Lando and Chewie are caught off guard and try to figure out a plan to escape, or at least outfox their Imperial friends, only to be saved by a rogue faction seeking the bounty on the Millennium Falcon. I like this encounter because it adds new characters to the series and possibly new storylines later in the comic. Lando and Chewie then land and meet Jabba in his palace, escorted by their new friends. Meanwhile, back at the Rebel fleet, there begins a discourse among the crew on what their next step is to be. At this time, the Empire had deciphered the Rebels' communication code, allowing them to peer into the veil of their plans. Every action that they take from this moment forward is being watched, so they begin mounting a strategy on how to evade or change the codes. Back on Tatooine, Lando meets with Jabba to probe upon the whereabouts of Boba. However, since he can't make that claim outright, he instead covertly asks Jabba's help to take back Bespin from the Empire. Jabba refuses, of course. Jabba, the clever slamball he is, knows Lando is trying to deceive him, so he threatens Lando with the pit if he doesn't release some information pertaining to Han's whereabouts. Lando tells him Boba had Han encased in carbonite on Cloud City by orders of Vader. Pleased with the information, Jabba releases Lando and Chewie. Lando and Chewie, now knowing that Boba hasn't delivered Han to Jabba's just yet, leave Tatooine to rendezvous back with Luke and Leia to tell them the good news. Lando and Chewie arrive back at the Rebel fleet, and this is where the comic ends, with Luke having some more flashbacks of his encounter with Vader on Cloud City. In the next issue, our heroes travel to Cloud City in search of Luke's lightsaber so he can begin his training to become a Jedi Knight. Again, thank you all for watching the video, I greatly appreciate it. Remember to look back through the video to find the redeemable code for a free digital copy of this issue, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.